Alright, time to do Daredevil. A note. Okay. Roll the intro. Hi guys, welcome to Beyond the Cover. I was planning on doing Daredevil today, but allow me to read you this lovely note. Dear Johnny Nix, congrats on the show, but I find it strange that you haven't talked about the greatest anti-hero of all time, me. I know you're supposed to be talking about the blind ninja today, but if you don't do me, do me, instead of him, I will. Okay, thanks, Deadpool. So, with that being said, let's talk about Wade Wilson. Mainly because I like to keep my head on my shoulders and not shoved up my... The reference-making, fourth-wall-breaking Merc with a mouth first appeared in issue number 98 of the New Mutants in 1991. That's the same year I was born. Coincidence? Yeah. He was created by artist Rob Liefeld and writer Fabian Nicieza. Nicieza? You know, hard to pronounce last names. The influence of Deadpool was, he was a parody of pretty much Deathstroke from DC. Let's get into Deadpool's backstory. Wade Winston Wilson grew up in a very bad childhood home. His mother died when he was 5 and his father abused him because he was an alcoholic. He ended up running away from his home of Ohio, traveling from state to state, learning different various military-like training, and which pretty much he ends up becoming a mercenary to make some money. Wade Wilson eventually finds out he has cancer, terminal cancer, and he ends up in Canada, and he takes somebody else's name who is Canadian. Throughout his travels, he took different names. He took Wade T. Wilson, and thus making him a Canadian citizen. And with that, he was able to manage to get his way to the Weapon X project. Yes, that Weapon X project. The same guys who gave Wolverine the adamantium. Yeah, those guys. And so through various tests they did, they end up quasi-curing the cancer, with a few setbacks. One of them being he lost his mind. There is no mental sanity within Wade Wilson anymore after the projects happen. Also, well, the whole Freddy Krueger look he has going on is due to all those tests too. Eventually, he becomes tired of being put there pretty much as a slave and breaks out. He calls himself Deadpool because the scientists and the guards all had this giant Deadpool of like, hey, who's gonna die from these experiments? So that's how he got the name Deadpool. Deadpool is one of the most unconventional superheroes of all time. Well, first off, he's an anti-hero, so he's willing to kill anybody if the price is right. He has worked for literally anyone as long as they pay him good money. Also, the fact that he knows he's in a comic, to the point where he's constantly breaking fourth wall throughout all of his comics. Also, he has multiple voices in his head. Most of the time they argue with him or insult him, which I think is the best part of Deadpool. personally. Let's talk about some of his powers. Well, first he has the re-healing factor that Wolverine has, to the point where someone could chop off a limb and he could pretty much regrow it. Also, he doesn't have superhuman strength, but he's stronger than the average man is. But he does have superhuman stamina, reflexes, speed, and agility. Some of his abilities include the fact that he's a martial artist, due to what I've explained in his backstory, very militaristic-like martial arts. He's a master assassin, because of course he is. And for what some of you might not know, Deadpool is also a linguist. He is fluent in Japanese, German, Spanish, and a few other languages. Deadpool loves his weapons, especially ones that make gigantic explosions. But the main weapons he's known for using are grenades, handguns, his sais, and the 2 katanas that are on his back. Now, for relationships, Deadpool, it's very confusing because he's a mercenary, so it's like, hey, it doesn't matter who likes him or not for him. But he does have a relationship with the X-Force since he's been a part of the X-Force. But the one person he has especially tight bond with is Cable, down to the point where they've even had their own comic together. And I think it's a really good comic. I enjoy it. His other relationships, Blind Al, which if you saw the movie, Blind Al's in the movie, who's his roommate. He also has a relationship with Bullseye. Yeah, Daredevil's enemy. That Bullseye. He's done a few missions with him. But the strangest relationship he has is with Death. He has a very special, unique relationship with Death, which really pissed Thanos off. I don't want to talk about it. Relationships in comics get very weird sometimes. Deadpool walks this very fine line where it's like sometimes he'll be friends with people and sometimes he'll be their bitter enemy. Like one day he'll work with Cap and Winter Soldier, and the next day he'll fight against them if the money's right. So it's kind of very vague of who his friends and enemies really are. But with that being said, I gotta give you guys my question. Do you guys like Deadpool? What are some of your favorite things about Deadpool? Leave them in the comments down below. I already said mine, which is the whole him having multiple voices in his head. Also, if you're over 18, did you see the movie? I'll leave a kind of ish review up later on this week. It's something different I'm going to be trying. So with that being said, that was Beyond the Cover for Deadpool. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, just click on my channel to see more. And if you like my videos, subscribe to the channel and spread the word about me. I'd highly appreciate that. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later. Stay nerdy, guys. There, you happy, Deadpool? Not gonna kill me now? Oh, and by the way, I didn't get punched in the face. This is a pimple. And it hurts. But yeah, see you guys Friday.